Hi and welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to show you a little bit about how to create a patch on the Hydrasynth. Once you turn on your synthesizer, you should check on the system setup if you have a protection to record set to off. So in my case, I turn this off. That's how you start when creating your patches. Then if I go back here to the browser, I can press and hold the shift key so that I can scroll more rapidly to the empty slots. And I'll get just an empty slot that appears here in my list. I wanted to create a sound based on my previous video that I have used the subharmonicum as a lead sound, and the main characteristic of that sound is to make the filter be controlled by an envelope, a quick envelope, and then I get this wah effect. I like to start my patches on the mixer, then I know which oscillators I want to use. So in my case here, I want to use the 3 oscillators at the same time. So I will first set them all to the same volume, but still from the mixer section I will turn on the solo option so I can work only on oscillator 1. In my sound that serves as a reference, there are 2 wave types that are used. One is a sawtooth, so I will leave my waves here on single mode and I'll let the sawtooth, as we can hear now, it's a pretty high pitch. Since I'm soloing my oscillators here, I always have to go back to the mixer section. If you haven't used the solo, you could do directly only by pressing the oscillator here. On my second oscillator, I will use a square wave. But on this one, I want a few octaves below, so I'm gonna choose a full octave. And then let's try to hear now both sounds at the same time. Okay, that's a good starting point. And now I'll kick in the third oscillator, and for that one I will also select here the third oscillator, sawtooth. And I can tune my oscillator a few cents off. This will make my sound a little bit thicker. So that's a good starting point, analog sound. Another way I can work with my 3 oscillators here is on the voice menu. What I can do here is to increase the analog feeling by increasing this parameter. Here is also where you choose if you want a monophonic or polyphonic. And now let's start working with the envelope and the filter. If you look here, envelope 1 is already pre-routed to the filter 1. Let's see what we have here for filter. Now I am with a ladder filter of 12. I'll change the ladder filter to 24. And let's work with the cutoff. Till I almost have like a bass sound. And here's the trick. Since you already have an envelope that is connected to filter 1, this is the parameter, the control, where I can say how much my envelope will influence my filter. So now let's have a look at the envelope. And as you can see, it's just a trigger. So what I'm gonna do, I will remove sustain all the way and work only with a decay. Now you can see I got more of a plucked sound. But if I go back to my filter here, if I want to have that wah effect, what I need to include here is more resonance. This already gives me some wah effect, but let's try to put this envelope to negative now, and you can see what happens. Immediately changes for a wah effect. And now it's about dialing in a soft spot here. So what this does is that now the envelope is modifying or modulating the filter cutoff parameter, and when you use it inverted, it will actually move the filter cutoff upwards, creating this wah effect. But this is the Hydrasynth, so you would want to include aftertouch and other controls. So I will do this in a fast forward.